We couldn't take too much gear at once, even though we were traveling by car with 3 to 4 suitcases. And people there still looked at us with weird faces. Asia was there putting on her makeup, or I was doing it for her. They were looking at us like we were some crazy people. I remember when it was around 0 degrees. So cold. I was wearing all the jackets we had, jumping out of them when we were doing photo shoots, and then jumping in those clothes again just not to freeze. We had to get up early to reach the zone. There we had to show them our permissions at the checkpoint and all of our equipment. They asked what we had with us, why we have it, and why so much of it. And with the drones, we needed even more paperwork. We were always missing some permissions, so we had to get it quickly. And we did. We definitely had to get up early. I needed to take a bath, prepare myself, prepare dresses, put on some makeup. We packed almost everything we brought with us, but Kasia definitely had more to carry, same as other photographers. Usually, we had some nice weather windows. We could fly the drone or use some other electronic equipment. It didn't rain, but sometimes the light was too bright and it was a bit too warm. But it happened when we were just doing scans, so we often had perfect timing. Clouds making the sunlight softer made us really happy, because it's the best possible moment to scan something in the open. Inside the buildings, that was a different story. It was so dark in there that we needed a ton of artificial light. We had our own power generator, which we turned on outside of the building. Or we used a set of battery-powered lamps. Each of these days lasted from early morning to late evening. Once we had a guide that was very protective of me, worrying that I'd get a cold. During every break I took, he offered me vodka shots, but I couldn't drink. So every time when I walked into the bus to warm up, everybody walked inside with me, so the guide couldn't try to persuade me to drink. You always had to be with your guide, except for the situations where your guide just vanishes and you're left alone. Once I was carrying lots of gear and I saw someone, maybe a police officer, but the security in the zone rarely patrols the area alone, so I didn't even try to hide. I just walked ahead. Buddy was a police officer and he said, "Show me your passport. Why are you alone?" I said that I was waiting for my guide. Finally, the guide showed up and had to pay the policeman with alcohol to pay my guilt off. Sometimes we scared the tourists there too. It was funny every time. We once heard someone walking up the staircase, so we turned the lights off and were lurking around the corner. When they were close, Asia started making some strange noises, and we suddenly turned the lights on. Someone suggested that I should untie my hair, lean my head down, take the rabbit toy in my hand, and walk down the staircase. Their reaction was, well, pretty interesting. They were scared as hell. They screamed, cursing at us. But they were disturbing our work, so they needed to suffer the consequences. I was surprised when we were waiting at the checkpoint and someone recognized me and wanted a picture with me. As soon as we got into the zone, I was attacked by fans. Of course, people at different video game expos were doing the same thing. But it was really nice that someone there, at Chernobyl, interested in this place, recognized me from our project. Once we were deliberately taken to the Samoshells. There are people living there, near Chernobyl. Usually just a few people per village. Men are almost an extinct species. For each man there, there's 4 or even more women. Since 2015, their number has thinned because they're old. They just die because of age. They were always very hospitable, and we visited them several times. We saw how they lived, and so the next time we brought them supplies, like bread, pasta, or groats, things they can't grow by themselves. They still cultivate the land there, They're almost self-sufficient, but then again, they really needed medical services. After one of those visits, we started to help the Samoshels. We learned that someone's doing that already, so we joined them. Samoshels are the most pleasant people, cheerful and optimistic. They came back to live there and they're happy to do so, but it doesn't mean that they don't have any relatives. For example, a daughter lives in the big city, but comes back from time to time. Sometimes a parent travels back to this big city with her. But they always come back. This is their land. They were raised here and they will die here. They have a real bond to this place.
Do baćka